if you are the person who gets held back from your birthright of orgasmic ecstasy and conjoined trance states of feeling the palpable connection to source and consciousness,
Mhm.
you got ripped off.
I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. Susan Bratton, the Bratton, welcome back to the show.
Hello, my sweet angel Rachel Maine. It is so nice to be with you again. Third time, and we just keep getting better and better together. Our love continues to deepen and grow for each other, our appreciation and our support of each other. And that's what makes it so nice to be here today. Plus, I love all your doggy pictures on the interwebs.
Thank you. Yeah, they get a lot of screen time for sure on the socials. So
Definitely.
thank you so much for just continuing to come on to the show and for bringing new ideas to the show. And we had a plan coming in today, and we were like, nope, fuck that. We're gonna do something else. Let's do something that really feels on the heart for both of us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting into the conversation around sexual shame. And
Yeah.
we're talking through just how clients are coming into the space of just bringing years and years and years of shame that other people have placed on them, society has placed on them, maybe
Mhm.
taking these own concepts of what they've learned and then placing that shame on themselves that I should be something different, I should think something different, I should want something different.
I
Um,
should look different.
I should look, yes, yes, yes. The body
Mhm.
shame is a big one too.
It is.
Yeah, so we're
And then guilt.
Mhm.
And then there's something wrong with me and I'm broken and I don't have a libido and all that bullshit.
Yes.
I know so many people think their libido is like they're broken or they can't orgasm or, they're not good at in bed or they don't feel turned on or all these things. And it's literally that we've just been expected to have sex like men.
Mm.
Everything that we see out there, whether it's media or movies or pornography, frankly, even most female fantasy, is still under the thumb of religiously repressed patriarchal control.
Hmm.
They say, what's that saying where there? It's like when you're a fish, you don't even know you're swimming in water.
Oh, yeah, I
Have you
don't
ever
know
heard
that
that?
one. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah.
I heard that one.
Oh, yeah, it's something like really close to that. And that's how I think about patriarchal sexual repression. It's like if you never see what female-led sexuality looks like that hasn't been destroyed by repressive behavior, and society and culture and all the mores and all of those kinds of things. How could you possibly even imagine? You would think you're broken because you don't respond like a man with a fast acting erection and a lot of testosterone and being horny all the time and things like that. Then we think there's something wrong with us because we're not like horny, initiating sex, all of these kinds. And then we think, oh, well, what is sex? Sex is intercourse. And I love intercourse. I mean, I honestly feel like one of the best things I teach, I think some of the best things I teach are how to teach men to seduce women and move them toward pleasure and get men to stop thinking there's something wrong with their woman because she's not
Hmm.
initiating.
Hmm.
I think that's one, but I think another one is just this aha moment of like, whoa, my arousal system in my female body is completely different than my male-bodied partner. Oh, I feel completely relieved that there's nothing wrong with me, that I just am not getting the inputs that I need to be the turned on woman that I see faked in all these other dimensions that I'm
Hmm.
subjected to in the
Yeah.
patriarchal fishbowl of water.
Yeah, it's the nor exactly like our bodies are different. So why, yeah, why do we think that we're supposed to be like them? Why do we
Mhm.
put that on ourselves of like, oh, I should be turned on all the time. I should want to have sex. I should be wanting or thinking about sex more because he is. It's yeah, it's that comparison to our male partners,
Mhm.
generally speaking,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Um, and Yeah, yeah, I think it's like helping women move to that place of acceptance, but not using it as an excuse. I don't want that to get twisted because I hear that actually a lot from the male partners when I talk about responsive or spontaneous desire. And the
Hmm.
female partner, she's finally like, "Oh my gosh, like the light bulb goes off of like, okay, I'm actually responsive desire. I need
Hmm.
this warm up phase. My body needs this time to get into a state of turn on." And then
Hmm.
helping her learn what those things are to get her to that state of turn on.
Yeah.
Right, very rarely is she going to receive that spontaneous light and bulb, oh, here I am horny as fuck all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then I hear from the partners, well, the responsive desire is just an excuse. That's you labeling yourself and giving yourself the excuse to maybe say no or to say, like, oh, I need X, Y, and Z in order to want to have sex with you, is how they're looking at it. I
Are you
don't,
shitting me?
I don't like
Guys are
that.
pushing back on that?
I don't like that. I know.
Fuck them.
I
Oh my
know.
God, sit down and listen. Oh, whoa, I can't believe it. Guys are pushing back on spontaneous. I love that it's Dr. Beverly Sasson, I think, who invented that spontaneous and responsive desire. And I always felt that that was such a panacea for women to hear that for the first time. Like, oh God, it's just such a nice construct. Wow, that's too bad that men feel like that. Oy, 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 oy.
I just see it. I think that responsive desire is such a beautiful thing because it gives you
Yeah,
the time to explore. Right?
yes.
Like we can jump in and go from A to B, get to orgasm as quick as possible, right? Like we could do that, or we could actually spend the time going through the warm. You've been on this show before talking about that
Hmm.
warm up phase, starting with something
Hmm.
like vulva massage. I can't tell
Hmm.
you how many clients, students, people I work with that I've
Hmm.
sent that episode to help
Oh,
with
good.
normalization. Yeah, our marriage, that has been the game changer in
Good.
our marriage. I'm like, listen,
God,
this
I
Susan
know.
taught me this, and I want to start every sex encounter with this thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I know. You know how every year I do sex trends of the year?
Mm,
2025, my number one sex trend was yoni massage. And the reason it became my number one trend of the year is that I noticed that it wasn't just women interested in it. Now men are like, I need to give my wife a yoni massage. She says I got to do a yoni. What's a yoni massage? I'm going to do a yoni massage. Tell me how to do a yoni. Do you have any videos on yoni massage? I was like, oh, it's starting to like seep through the fabric of the couples that care about their sexuality. And now guys are asking for the help. You know how huge that is because the men who ask for help are the 1%.
mm,
The tip of the iceberg, the top of the iceberg. But the other 99% of the men are like, I know what to do. I got this. And they don't know what the hell they're doing, but at least they think they do and they're going to try. At least they
yeah.
have some confidence. I'll take that. I'll take that over not even being aware of it. So that's
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
Another thing that I was thinking too was just this whole idea of foreplay and sex, that we have this paradigm in our culture where it's you have foreplay and then you have sex, and sex always means intercourse. And so everything is how fast do we get to intercourse?
Hmm.
And you know me, my jam is orgasms. My jam is super hot sex techniques, which includes calming your brains out.
Hmm.
That's what I like to do. And so I like to teach people the dimensionality of orgasmic expansion. Okay,
Hmm.
what are we going for here? What the hell does that even mean? Like, okay, well, the first thing that it means is that your body can have 20 kinds of orgasms. And
Hmm.
the 20th one is wild card because I literally just had something that I named a nuzzlegasm. I was now for your listeners who haven't heard us talk before, I have been married for 34 years and I'm a publisher of passionate lovemaking techniques and bedroom communication skills and intimate wellness information. And that's really just the three legs of a solid sex life that keeps getting better. But I've also been married to the love of my life, my husband, and I've been with him for 34 years. We have a 28-year-old daughter whose friends ask me for sex advice. I'm the sex mom. I was telling Rachel before we started the show, I was really, really pleased to be the sex mom. And one of the big things that I teach is different types of orgasms, how to have them. I think it's really fundamental to know the steps to orgasming because so many men think the only kind of orgasm there is an ejaculatory orgasm. And so many women also think that that's what an orgasm looks like, is how the male body's default orgasm, even though there's over 20 for men as well. I mean, the Homo sapien, our human body comes in myriad ways.
Mhm.
And if you don't even understand that the one way that you've maybe managed to achieve a path to orgasm is just one way, and that you could actually begin to have I really liken it to cooking. And I love to cook and I love to feed my people. And a part of the reason that I do is that a big tenet of my relationship with my husband is feed him and fuck him. And that's what keeps him happy. Literally, I could be a woman of leisure, even though I'm the CEO of both of our companies. He would be perfectly happy to completely take care of me if I fed him 3 squares and fucked him every day. Like that's how, and my husband's not unique. He is just your basic dude, like I am your basic lady. And so it's very interesting that, we wanted to talk about this idea of moving away from prescribed sex and the patriarchal lens of sex and moving in and getting out of the shame that you're experiencing with all your clients. And my thing was, well, I just want to tell you all the things I do and ask for in the bedroom because I'm a massively empowered woman sexually by my partners. This was another thing I wanted to tell our listeners is that I'm in a relationship currently with my husband. I also have a boyfriend and we also have a girlfriend. And so we're in our consensual non-monogamy construct is polycule. We're
Mhm.
kitchen table poly people. We live our lives together.
Mhm.
My daughter knows all of our partners and they know her. She's in Australia, so we don't see her much right now. I really want to mom brag right now so bad, but I'm going to contain myself. And I could do like a whole show on how great my daughter is.
Aw.
But I know I love her so much. But I was with my boyfriend making love. I'd gone to visit him at his house. I had a date with him. And I'd had a neck ache. I try to work out a lot. I'm a longevity person, and I talk a lot about sex span, and I talk a lot about longevity. And so I work out a lot, and so my neck and my upper body was really sore because I was doing extra
Mhm.
workouts, like shoulder presses and all kinds of things. And we were making love, and when we were done, I was relaxed and I was lying there, but I took the top of my head. He's really good at hugging me. I really like to be squeezed and hugged and held in a manly way a
Mhm.
lot. And you and I haven't met, but I'm giant. I'm almost 6 feet tall. I weigh over 160 pounds and I am fat on muscle. I am like they call me the glamazon. I'm like a giant woman. And I like that about myself. And
Mhm.
so I love the feeling of really just like being completely enveloped by the masculine.
Mhm.
And he was hugging me and I stuck the top of my head into the crook of his neck. And as he was squeezing me, I was just kind of like really nuzzling my head into his neck. And it gave me an orgasm, like a throat gasm, like a throat and neck gasm kind of a
Mhm.
thing. And I'm like, dude, I just invented a new orgasm. It's the nuzzlegasm. I love nuzzlegasms. And orgasm is such an incredible rebooting release of our
Mhm.
physiologic, constriction of walking around in the crazy world we're living in right now, that it's just one more way to release ourselves. And the 3 kinds of orgasms, just to finish that thought off, are the locations to touch, which we're pretty familiar with,
Mhm.
like a clitoral orgasm, a vaginal orgasm, a nipple-gasm, a foot-gasm, a core or belly-gasm, a throat-gasm, a kissing-gasm. These are very, a G-spot-gasm, which it's not a spot, it's a long tube of tissue, but spot, okay, whatever, Grafenberg, whatever the fuck, Grafenberg.
Yeah.
So, great, you found one little location. Baby, there's so much more there. I'm sorry, that's all you got to was the spot. But so you have these locations to touch in your body, all these erogenous zones, and many people have highly unique ones too. So that's one thing. And then the second category is what I would call orgasmic techniques. So a really good example of one is the expanded orgasm practice. It gives you a specific experience with a very specific clitoral stroke of touching source, Gaia, consciousness. It's a trance state, very long orgasm.
Hmm.
That's an example. Or like erotic hypnosis.
Hmm.
That's an interesting one. I'm going to make you come on command. I'm going to put you under hypnosis and make you have orgasms just sitting there. Like that's a technique for orgasm. There's many. And then the third category is what I like to call objects of desire, which is could be anything: leather, candle wax, floggers, sex toys, vibrators, butt plugs, whatever. And that leads me into, and I'll close it up with this, that leads me into orgasmic activation, which is this notion that it's especially important for people who think they can't orgasm, they're anorgasmic, they only have one path to orgasm, so they have to have this one thing occur, or they can't come, to understand that they just have learned this one pathway. Like they've cooked this meal and they know how to make this meal and they've really perfected it. It's really tasty and they've got that recipe down. But I got a whole cookbook of comes for you. And I got the recipe for them. And if I write the recipe and you do it 3 times, it'll work for you. Because our human body is an operating system. And when you give it the inputs it needs, you've got to give it the right prompts.
Hmm.
And when you are an agentic orgasmer, when you own your sensation, your pleasure, when you know what you want, you know how to ask for it, you give it the right inputs, you get to have a really incredible response. You get a great output, which is
Hmm.
another orgasm of a different kind.
Hmm.
So I feel like what I've been doing is writing the recipes for orgasmic pleasure for people and making them aware of activating their orgasmic potential, or orgasmic cross training with different tools and toys to awaken the tissue, to light up the brain, the somatosensory cortex, and get the mind and the genitals connected so that you can feel it and get engorged and get turned on. Give yourself the time with the yoni massages to get your lady boner. And once you start understanding these concepts, and they're very easy concepts to understand, like people get it right away. They hear it and they're like, shit, man, I never thought about it that
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
Wow, okay, I see what she's saying here. I could learn these things, and now I want to because I see that it's possible.
Hmm. Yeah. And I'm coming up to the question of, right, there's some people that they're thinking, why? Like going back to like the sexual motivation part. Why do I need this in my life? Why do I
Yeah.
need to experience orgasm to this depth or in this capacity or in so many different ways? For the
Mhm.
people that are thinking like, what if I'm fine where I'm at currently. I'm fine if I never have sex again in my life. How do we I hate to use the word convince, but how do we share with them that there is this available to them? And I think it is the shame piece that is what the blocker is that is on like blocking them from experiencing this.
Yeah. So I'd answer it in 2 ways. I could give you the very specific answer, which I will, but I can give you the bigger picture, more wise
Mhm.
sex mom answer.
Break it down. Break it down.
And and here's how it goes. The first part is I could tell you all of the reasons why it's good for you, and I will. Why it's healthy.
Hmm.
Why I call it the fourth factor of health and longevity. And it's the fourth factor because we understand that sleep is vital, nutrition is vital, and movement is vital.
Hmm.
But what we don't in our religiously repressed society, holding women back from their pleasure, tell people is that intimacy, heart connected, passionate, conscious lovemaking, orgasmic lovemaking is the fourth factor for longevity. Because people, if you think about being in the fork in the road, the people who are couple A, they've gone down this long, winding road, and over time, their shame, their lack of knowledge, the fact that you and I, Rachel, we get censored. I mean, thank God for your show. I'm so happy to be back for the third time. I love being with you and having these really thoughtful discussions with you because I really love to feel your heart and your intelligence and how you move in this world. It's a joy for me. And we see all of the impact of the censorship and repression on people. We see how it breaks people. And the answer is that it's really healthy for you. If you are the person who gets held back from your birthright of orgasmic ecstasy and conjoined trance states of feeling the palpable connection to source and consciousness,
Hmm.
you got ripped off and you lost a hormone cascade of feel good dopamine and serotonin. You lost the opportunity to generate oxytocin, which bonds you not just to your children or your partner, but to your friends and your family. It makes you annoyed with everyone in the universe a little less. I mean, tap my vein and keep it coming with oxytocin because
Hmm.
everything is pissing me off in the United States of America right now. And it helps you love art and beauty and nature and the love of friends and family. Oxytocin is a very underrated hormone because it's not as well studied or discussed as testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, cortisol, but it is vital and in important areas, which are pleasure and happiness. It's also an antidote to the cortisol in a way. It calms our nervous system down. Good orgasms oxygenate our brain. They improve our cognitive function. They generate natural killer cells, which are the, the cells in our body responsible for cleaning up dead and broken cells that become cancer cells or zombie cells. The reason that people go on intermittent fasting and take fisetin and other senolytics and dasatinib and sirolimus and rapamycin, and there's just, some of those are the same thing. I'm just using different words for it. All of those things for longevity. You have a really good opening of your heart into pleasure, which also is good for your vascular system. Orgasms are a vascular event. They push your blood supply is a muscle system. And if you don't work it out, it loses its temerity and you age more quickly. There are so many aspects of the benefits of orgasmic pleasure, solo pleasure, but especially co-creative
Hmm.
sexual pleasure.
Hmm.
Because of all the oxytocin and things, you kind of have to rub the bodies together to get a lot of that.
Hmm.
So you have all these reasons, but here's what happens. Okay, great. Susan Bratton just gave you like 73 reasons why sex will make you live longer than another couple who's just like you, but stops having sex, just holds hands, becomes platonic, and they get older faster, they lose cognitive function, they're less happy, they have a more miserable short life than you do if you are of the mindset, the growth mindset, where, oh, sex is a series of learned skills. Yeah, I could make a baby without anybody basically telling me what to do. But sex, intimacy, pleasure, passionate lovemaking, oh, these are skills. So
Hmm.
whether I want to become a good cook, a good lover, a maestro on the violin, I got to put my time in. I got to learn some things.
Hmm.
And luckily now there are wonderful people, people of your age who are taking up the mantle and saying, I want to right the wrongs of this repressed society and help people live a healthier, happier, longer life and have great sex. But the thing is that I can tell people all day long that sex is good for them. But just like eating their vegetables, they ain't gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
So many guys reach out to me and they're like, I have erectile dysfunction. And I say, okay, well, how old are you? I'm 27. Okay, well, do you eat any vegetables? No, I don't eat any vegetables. Do you work out? No, I don't work out. And I'm like, okay, how much porn do you consume? Every day. And I'm like, okay, well, let's start with that. Like, eat
Mhm.
some greens. How are you going to get any nitric oxide to get a boner? You can't. You can't. It doesn't work that way, baby. You got to have some nitric oxide. So it's very, very interesting that I can tell people why sex is good, but it doesn't matter. Because what you do when you're working one-on-one with someone in a relationship dynamic, you're both educating them about sexual pleasure, but you're really unwinding all of the trauma that happened to them.
Mhm.
So a lot of what I teach people is, okay, I'm really here to help the people that want to be helped, that have gotten to the point where they're like, well, so I've heard this being a hot lover is actually learned skill. Teach me something. What can
Mhm.
I learn?
Mhm.
Now, when I get somebody like that, that's where I come in. Because I'm not a therapist or a coach, I don't work one-on-one with people. I write hot sex techniques, right? This is what I do. I teach people how to have hot sex. And I'm very unusual. That's not a thing. There's
Mhm.
only a few of us. There's
Mhm.
a lot of women out in the market who are teaching like female embodiment, or they're teaching, like tantra, eye gazing, or breath work, or things like that. I'm teaching fucking, making you come while you get fucked really well by your husband or your wife, right? It's just
I
like,
love you so much.
I mean, we're talking about the taxonomy of the sexual, education world and where I fit on the tree of all of that. And I'm super happy for the, yoni embodiment princesses out there. Like we
Mhm.
need
Mhm.
all of us. I'm
Mhm.
just saying where I fit, which was why when we started planning this segment together and we were deciding what was in our hearts to talk about, I was like, well, why don't I tell you about how all the things I ask for during sex, what
Mhm.
I want, what my sex life is like, and how different it probably is from the people that you're working with because I've got all these skills, all these techniques, all this
Mhm.
experience, all this willingness to get my partners give me whatever I want, my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, and I do the same for them. We do the same for each other. If you can dream it up, you can have it, baby. That's our
Mhm.
motto. Like, if what do you got? What's on your
Mhm.
mind? What kind
Mhm.
of ideas do you have? When we hit the bed, whatever configuration it is, because I do make love with my partners we have twosomes, threesomes, and foursomes of all different varieties. But
Mhm.
this is my job. This is my area of expertise. If I was only going to be with one man for 35 years, what kind of a sexpert could my advice be?
Mhm.
Right? I mean, it could be
Mhm.
okay. It could be okay, but not when you have a wide variety of experiences. And I
Mhm.
do it all very safely. I'm the chief advocacy officer of an STI at-home testing company
Mhm.
called ProDX Health. So STI testing is forefront of the
Yeah.
safety that is required for the surrender to one's pleasure. But that's why I thought, okay, well, this might be a worthwhile thing to talk about is like, yeah, we could be in the shame, in the shame conversation, but I almost can't help those people till you're done with them.
Mhm. Mhm.
The people I help are the ones who are like, let's fucking go. What you got, mama? Here's what I want to know about. How do I have one of those throat gasms?
Mhm.
All the things. That's really the area for
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad that you named that because you're right. We do need all of us, and there's those of right, like
Mhm.
I'm working on the coaching therapy side, and
Yes.
I love Yeah, I love because once people get through our program and they get to that point, okay, what else do you have for me? What's more? Part of our program, we're teaching them erotic blueprints and archetypes and unlocking kink and desires and all of that. And so then it is like, okay, how we can only do so much in a 90-day span with them, right? And we are doing the shame unpacking and the right, all of that, the yeah, uncracking the egg essentially is like kind of
Yes.
how I call it, opening Pandora's box essentially. And so then it is people like you and then more of these specialized programs where the tips and the tricks and the knowledge and it's like I'm really excited and wanting to know about this thing. That's where you come into play. It's like, okay, I can teach you of that. And you're saying you're wanting the people that are already there. They've done the work. They've unpacked the shame. They released the shame. They've stepped into that empowerment phase and the willingness phase, right? You're not convincing them that
No,
they need this at this
I
point.
can't.
They're
They're a
already
lost
ready.
cause to me.
Yeah.
Now, thank God they're not a lost cause to you.
Right. Yes.
But they are to me, and that's not who I can help.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm guesting on a show, and they'll start the show with, now, if you're listening, be very careful that we're going to talk about sexuality, and you may not want, you want to put your headphones on, you may not want to have your kids, and I make them redo it. And I'm like, they know
Hmm.
by what you call this segment that we're going to talk about sex. They're not going to play this on the speaker in their car in front of their kids.
Hmm.
And when you do that, you're shaming them.
Mm.
Like, oh, we're talking about sex. Like, we're talking about sex. I could be teaching you how to make my crispy chicken thighs, or I could be teaching you how to have a throat gasm. It's all the same fucking thing. It's just a recipe. That's
Hmm.
how easy sex is. And people are
Hmm.
like, I can't cook. Cooking is hard. It's not. You just don't do it,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? It gets easy when you do it. You just do it and
And
you get
if you
good at
fuck
it.
it
Of
up once, you don't have to stop there. It's going to be awkward. It's not going to be this
course.
perfect thing, masterpiece every single time. I had somebody just the other day, I was working with them through this. They're like, well, what if it doesn't work? And then what if they laugh at me? I'm like, what if you're laughing together? And then
Right.
what sort of intimacy does that create for you? I remember the first time my husband and I used a door swing together. We laughed our fucking asses off because
That's fun.
I'm like, the upper body strength that is necessary for these fucking things. I'm like, what is I'm sweating and we're not even fucking yet. And so I like that is a core memory of our sex life for me because of that intimacy that we had beforehand. I mean,
Yep.
did we figure it out? Yeah, but right, we had the training wheels on it for the first time.
That's so cute. I love that. Exactly. Oh, and I think swings are so much fun. My husband bought this, he loves them. He bought this giant swing and he put in this giant bolt in the ceiling of our rental. We have a rental house down here at the beach house. We bought the house next door and we rent it. And so we can kind of keep an eye on it and everything. And so when it's not rented out, he's like, do you want to go over and fuck on the big swing?
You're
So
like,
cute.
yes.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was so cute. Yesterday, I had a threesome with my husband and my boyfriend.
Mhm.
And we've been entertaining one of my girlfriends was visiting for the weekend. And so we've been entertaining all weekend. We've been out at the beach, we've been swimming and all kinds of things. And my girlfriend left and I cooked us a really early dinner because we're old. We have sex early now. We're like, let's have sex at 6 or 7, not at 8 or 9. I mean, by 9, we're ready to go to bed. I mean, it's so bad. But that's because I love my sleep. It's one of the 4 factors, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I'd gone to the Stimulate show in Nashville. It was a really good show. I think you should go next
I
June.
had the worst FOMO seeing
Yes,
seeing so many people I know were at that. And
yes,
yes, and I saw you were there. My girl Tatum was there doing
yeah.
the Girl Stop Talking podcast. And I was just like, what the fuck? How did I not know about this thing? So I'm 100% going next year. I have to.
Good.
Yeah.
Great, great, great.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. I'm glad. Yeah. And they have a business to consumer show coming up too.
Hmm. Mm.
Nicole Leinbach Hoffman is the creator of Stimulate, and she did a really good job with it. I went on behalf of Gainswave. I spoke for them. There was like a
Yes.
stage that was like ask the doc, talk to the doctors kind of thing. And so, as a spokesperson for them for 7 years, they asked me to come and do the speech with Dr. Jason Dunlop, who's absolutely adorable.
Hmm.
And we had a good time. And it was so cute because there were so many people people in the audience that I knew that when I was done speaking, I said, "Oh my God, I just want to bring a few of my people up here on the stage so you all get to know who they are and you can meet them after the talk." And so I brought the people up from the stage and I emptied out half the audience and they were all up here. And then I said, "Is there anybody who'd like to come up and we'll find out who you are so we can all get to know you?" And three or four people came up and said, "Here's who I am and here's who I am and here's who
Mm.
I am." It was like one of those shows where it was such a nice group of people and everybody knew everybody and the people who didn't wanted to and everybody got together and had great chats. It was really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
We're really creating a very nice industry, a collection. Like I was telling you before we started that I started this Intimacy Alliance, a mastermind for
Mm-hmm.
sex educators
Mm-hmm.
because I've been in business for a couple of decades and I run a nice, couple of businesses in this industry and it's a very hard industry because we're so censored.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so lovely to see them all there. We had a nice big dinner with everybody, and we're gaining on it, but it's going to get
Mm-hmm.
harder and harder with Project 2025. There's more and more being shut down, age gating, states' rights, not letting us even sell our passionate lovemaking programs to consumers in certain states and things. We now completely block certain states. We just don't want the trouble from people,
Mm-hmm.
because they'll come after us and we don't want that anymore.
Wow.
So, I mean, unfortunately, it's going backward. But anyway, so yesterday I had this hot date
Mm-hmm.
and we had gone for a swim and then we took a shower and then we got in bed together and my boobs were cold. And I had gotten because we were swimming in the ocean and it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I had gotten this product from Pleasure Palace. It's called the Sacred Squirter,
Quick
and it's
squirter. I
and
own
it's a
one.
glass wand that looks like a tongue, that looks like a
Mm-hmm.
genie lantern, that has these little bumps of glass on
Yes.
it. So it's basically this G-spot wand. And I wanted to try it. And my husband is very good at G-spot pleasuring. Man, that guy knows how to find my spots like you wouldn't believe. And I wanted him to try it. And so he was doing that. And normally my boyfriend, when my husband's like giving me a yoni massage and, trying a tool on me or vibrator or whatever it might be, my boyfriend will kiss me and I'll stroke his cock while he's playing with my boobs. But all I wanted him to do was he kneeled down off the bed and reached around and he just held my breasts and warmed them up
Mm-hmm.
while my husband was giving me a yoni massage. And here I am, I'm just laying there getting completely pleasured exactly the way I need
Mm-hmm.
from both of my partners.
Mm-hmm.
It was so nice. And then it was the first time I used the Sacred Squirter, and it was okay, but not great yet. Like we
Mm-hmm.
hadn't quite figured it out. We were
Mm-hmm.
just still kind of getting used to the sensation of it in me and him
Mm-hmm.
having his hand on the handle the right way and all that stuff. So we stopped and we decided that we wanted to do it's called a spit roast, which is basically that's like a porn term. I'd like to create a better word for it, so if you have any ideas, but it was
Mm-hmm.
basically I was bent over on my knees, doggy style, and my boyfriend was penetrating me. I was quite warmed up by then. My boyfriend was penetrating me, so he was making love to me, and I was going down on my husband, sideways, kind of perpendicular.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun too. And so we did that for a while. And then when my boyfriend orgasmed, he lay down beside us and rested. And I think I had my husband, I love to ride my husband cowgirl. I
Mm-hmm.
taught myself about, I'm going to say like 5 years ago. And it was interesting because one of the reasons I really wanted to work on my cowgirl was that I had a lot of sexual abuse by my stepfather as a child, and I was penetrated against my will repeatedly. And one of the things that I've struggled with in the 34 years that I've been with my husband is that early on, when we would have sex and he would penetrate me, it would take my energy down because it would trigger my body's memory of being penetrated without consent.
Mhm.
And so I thought to myself, if I do the penetrating, like if I'm in control of it, it'll work really well.
Mm.
So I like to climb on him and get I like the first stroke under my control, the first couple strokes under my control. So I've been doing a lot of cowgirl. And the
Mhm.
poor guy, he's just so good because, of course, he wants to do every position. And I've just been on this cowgirl binge lately. And I just totally calm all over. I've learned how to give myself orgasm after orgasm. I basically can come the whole time I'm doing cowgirl now. I've kind of worked my way up to that.
Mhm.
And I'm at the point where I'm also very loud and scream in his ear. And I'm like, am I hurting your ears? No, babe. I love that. I love it when you scream in my ears. But last night I wanted missionary. I wanted him to penetrate me. I felt really confident and secure and safe, and it was good and it didn't bring me down. And he was penetrating me. And then he came, and normally, I also have more orgasms in me. And so sometimes I'll have them, one or the other of them, who's ever around, honestly, any ports in the storm, I'll lay back against my boyfriend or my partner and have him play with my boobs and play with my nipples and tell me what he loves about me. I really like verbal appreciation. And he'll tell me what he loves about me, how sexy I am, how beautiful I am, how well I come, how sexy I sound moaning, what a hot piece of ass I am, how much he loves me, how good a job I do taking care of him, how pretty I am, how
Mm.
sexy I am, whatever, everything, all the things,
Mhm.
every day. And he'll tell me all those things, and I'll use my favorite vibrators of the moment, which I can tell you about, on myself, and I'll have a bunch more orgasms and then I'm complete. But last night I was done. But because we'd gone swimming in the ocean, we all snuggled in bed and we were watching Jason Momoa's new Hawaii movie,
Mhm.
which was not of interest to me because currently, I live in California and I really like Gavin Newsom. He's been a very good governor. Nobody's perfect, but he's run our state very well, in my opinion. He
Mhm.
matches my values.
Mhm.
And so there's these memes going around about like Gavin Newsom riding a bear, all muscly and shit. And I already think he's so adorable and gorgeous and amazing. And so I just wanted to scroll threads and look at Gavin Newsom memes, but my feet were dry from swimming in the ocean. So I laid down at the opposite end of the bed and I scrolled socials while each man had a foot in their hand and they buttered my feet and gave me not real butter, like, like
Mhm.
body butter. They body
Mhm.
buttered my feet and gave me foot love while they watched Hawaiian dudes beat the shit out of each other while I scrolled and looked at like Gavin Newsom meme porn.
Yeah.
And then we had ice cream.
Oh my gosh. As if this wasn't already the best day ever. My God.
And I wore my little necklace. I got this necklace from Kelly Sofferman at Sports Sheets,
Mhm.
and it says Brat, Brat. They have a brand that's a line that's called Brat. It's a little like BDSM line or like a little kinky light line. It has little
Mhm.
paddles and floggers and shit. And they had a necklace at one of the shows that said Brat. And so I wore my Brat necklace and I asked for everything that I wanted and I
Mhm.
got it. And they're happy to give it to me and
Mhm.
they love me and we had a great time. And so that was my
Mhm.
sex date last night.
Yeah. Just on a Sunday. Just a casual Sunday.
Just some double Dutch chocolate ice cream, some foot butter, and some orgasms, and
I
some
yeah.
boob warming.
Yes. And you, I mean, you, Susan, you are the example. Like you show the people like what is available, what we can have. And it's like yeah, it's doing get through the shame, get through of other people's stories that are creating blocks for you. Open yourself to the ideas that this is actually possible for you. Allow it to be messy, allow yourself to go there. Reach out to experts like you for the tips, and you can have all that you want in your sex life. And you don't, yeah, you can categorize yourself as a brat. You can categorize yourself as the bitch, the cunt, the whatever you want, but own that shit just as
Yep.
you do.
Yes. And
Mm,
I think they're very, very happy to give me anything that I want. And it
mhm,
makes them feel calm that they
mhm.
know that I'm happy and that I'm loving what I'm doing.
Yes.
And I think being a brat is a gift you give to your partner. And I don't think a brat is a bad word. I think a brat is like pushing, it's like pussy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we say pussy, we're normalizing it. When
Mm-hmm.
we say
Mm-hmm.
brat, we're not really a brat. We're just women asking for our desires and feeding our sexual appetite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I want everyone to be a brat.
Yes, let's bring in the embodiment piece of for the women that do embodiment work like me, and I'm gonna create a brat embodiment to help them
I
with
love it. That sounds so good. I want to leave your listeners with something that I think will help them become more bratty.
it. Okay.
And that is something that I call my sexual soulmate pact, PACT, like an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot be a good brat unless you know how to know what you want and ask for it. And the sexual soulmate pact is did I say it's at sexualsoulmatepact.com? I don't remember if I
Okay.
said that.
Nope.
It's just a really simple thing, sexualsoulmatepact.com. It's a free download, it's an ebook, and it teaches you how to know what you want and ask for it, even if you're in a relationship with a partner that when you ask them to make an adjustment, they emotionally collapse and the sex is over.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ninja technique that works really well with men who are a little insecure and struggle with feedback.
Mm.
And it's really good for women who are like, I don't know what I want. I just know what I'm getting, isn't it? It
Mm-hmm.
fixes that too. It fixes what I think are the two big problems in sexual communication. And sexual communication is the foundation.
Mm.
Don't even think about sex techniques till you get that shit mastered. So sexualsoulmatepact.com is the gift today that really goes with our conversation and helps you move to the next level. And if you become a brat, I want to hear about it.
Yes, DM Susan and I all of your bratty things. And yes, I know I will be running over to get this. Thank you always, always, always for coming onto the show. I know this will not be our last encounter
I
together.
hope
Thank
not.
you just for continuing to give us all the freebies. That's so kind of you.
Of course. My
And for being
pleasure.
you,
So great to
again,
see you.
you doing this work, you're setting the example for us. I hope that I am Susan when I grow up. I cannot say enough.
Aw, that's so sweet. And you just keep getting more beautiful, more intelligent, more loving, more kind. I really love watching your evolution. So thank you for our continued friendship.
Thank you. It's all the orgasms.
Yay.
Bye, Susan. Thank you so much.
Bye, Rachel.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you really fucking loved it, make sure to tag me on social media at the Rachel Main. I'll see you next week.